Welcome, everybody. I am your host, Arctic.
I'm Poppet.
I'm Pandy.
And we're
Fluffit
We're
We're
live. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Fluffit We're Live. Today, we're going to be talking about some cool things. Maybe you know a streamer or are one yourself. We're going to be talking about the difficulties, the fun, and the hardships of said streaming. But first, as always, we got our voicemail caller. Are you guys ready for the voicemail?
I'm ready.
But first, it's getting a little hot in here.
Chicka wow wow, chicka wow wow.
Anyway, so we got a caller here. Let's go ahead and play the tape.
Hello, everyone. I would like to ask a question for the people in the podcast. What's the most memorable moment you have had while gaming? It can be anything. It can be a sad story that make you cry, or an epic victory in your first heart rate in MMO with your friends or strangers, or any funny moment that experienced in gaming. Yeah. And before I go, I would like to give a shout out to the Sidewalk for keeping me off the streets. Yeah, thank you, Sidewalk. And yeah, I love you guys. Peace.
Love you too.
We love you too.
And thank you,
All right.
Sidewalks.
Thank you, Sidewalks.
So, a moment in video games. So I've talked about a lot of momentous occasions and things that I've done in video games in the past. I've talked about some of them in our older podcasts. The last one, I believe.
Yes,
where
episode
3. Yeah, where I talked about losing my Game Boy Advance. So if you guys want to hear that, definitely check out episode 3. You can hear about me crying in a parking lot. But in any case, there's way too many. And that's the beautiful thing about gaming is you create beautiful and amazing moments with people and meet people all over the world, especially with like MMOs and stuff. But one of the ones I want to talk about is I used to go to my dad's a lot and play The Legend of Dragoon, which I also talked about in episode 4. And the final boss was absolutely crazy. If I went back and played it today, it would probably not be as crazy as I'm remembering it. But you know how like bosses have like 1 phase or 2 phases, maybe 3? This motherfucker had like 8.
That's too many.
And like usually like phases, like they change their pattern and stuff. This dude would change his entire form, and as he changed, the entire dimension and universe would change around him, like the background and everything, the music. It was insane. And I remember playing it for like 2 hours, and I'm like, bro, I gotta win, man. I gotta win. And like trying to like continuously revive my homies. And then finally, when I defeated his ass, it was amazing. Like I got chills. Like my nippies were hard. Like, have you ever been so excited that your nippies get hard? Like, it's a real thing.
No, not my nippies, but maybe something else. We won't get into that. We won't get into that.
Oh my god.
We won't get into
I
that.
just thought my room was cold.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
But anyways, that was a really amazing moment, and I've had a lot of other ones like that as well. But that could potentially be an entire podcast by itself. So let's have someone else go next.
I guess I'll go next. Mine would definitely be when I played Monster Hunter Tri, my first Monster Hunter game, and they had underwater battles, which I'm not gonna lie, sucked ass. They were so
I can
bad.
imagine underwater battles in
But
Monster Hunter.
I had to
Did you
look
have,
it
like,
up 'cause
scuba
I had
gear?
to know. No, not really. You know, you just kind of
How did you breathe underwater?
You're scared of underwater too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. So
You're scared of underwater, yet you made an underwater base on our Minecraft server.
You sure did.
yeah,
I've been trying to find it again too.
We need to play that again.
yeah, we do. But anyways, it was Lagiacrus. It was like a giant like Leviathan serpent that had electricity underwater. Okay, it was scary.
That's not good.
It was so hard when I was younger, but when I beat that motherfucker, I'm like, let's fucking go. I thought I beat the game. I was about halfway through the game. But I felt so great after beating his ass. So that was definitely my moment.
Oh yeah. What about you, Puppet?
Me? There's so many moments. I've always gamed with my brothers. You know, I've been like the meat shield. I'm like, I'll play with you. But I never thought of myself as a gamer per se. But then I can't even remember how. Oh yeah, somehow I got roped into playing an MMO, and I knew it was other people, but hadn't ever had that experience of being part of a guild or working with strangers and getting to know people. And so, I think for me that was like game changing, literally. And you know, it was just an amazing experience being part of a guild. And I think to this day, MMOs are still my favorite kind of game. A little dangerous because they're so addictive. You could spend so much time constantly. And this was a gacha game. So I was mostly free to play until a little bit at the end, you know. But the whole concept, and I was very shy, that you're talking to these people, you're working with these people, you're grinding every day, you're farming together. And I really started to put thought into my character, what weapon I have, how am I enhancing it. And when we go into dungeons, which would take hours, we did the whole hour-long thing too. Hours of dungeons. And again, what did we do wrong this time? How can we combat this boss? You know, what elements do we have on? Who's supporting? Also, you know, and just really working as a team. It just totally changed my way of thinking about gaming in general.
Working together as a team and getting that dopamine rush when you're grinding and finally get to the point where you have success and everybody's like, yeah, we did it.
And there were those moments where we're all like, yes, we're in a Discord call and we're all around the other side of the world from each other, but we're all shouting and cheering that we did it. And you know,
just
that's
roaring across the world.
Pretty cool, you know, if you think about it. And not everyone will understand. I think that's, you know, what?
But that's the beauty of MMOs,
but
though.
Honestly, after playing together for so long, you're not really strangers, and
like a family.
still keep in contact with people. And you guys now, you know, it's not an MMO, but we play Overwatch, and it's the same thing. We play together, we play as a team, we communicate, we talk and hang out all the time, and here we are in a podcast.
We get
now.
frustrated
It's
together.
It's kind of cute. Like one of us will be like, "Oh, I can't get there until that. You guys just go on without me." And then we're all like, "No, we have to do it together."
And it's not like an MMO where it matters.
It sounds like a snack.
Like
Yeah, you
we're
got any
still going to
M&Ms?
be the same level, but we want to just wait for each other and work together. Sometimes it's nicer than, you know, when we know how to play together, and it's just fun. You know, the way we work together and people work together. I think for me, that's the best part of gaming, and you know, the people you meet along the way.
Yeah.
But MMOs and guilds have had some of my best memories for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we move on, I just want to say that's the beauty of MMOs. Like they're fun by themselves, and you know, you can get some good gameplay. But honestly, without the people, it just feels very empty. It's not the same. The people are what make it. You know what I mean? You meet people from all over the world, from different walks of life. And just experiencing that with everyone truly makes the experience. Today is March 27th, 2025. Welcome to another Yeti's Wizard Tech and Weather, your go-to source for the latest in technology and weather updates. Let's dive into this week's top stories. We're reaching an end of an era as Microsoft has announced that support for Windows 10 will end on October 14th, 2025. After this date, no further updates or security patches will be provided, potentially leaving systems vulnerable. To prepare, users should ensure their systems are up to date, back up their important data, and consider upgrading to Windows 11 if their hardware meets the requirements. For those unable to upgrade, Microsoft will offer an extended security update for a fee. Up next, Asus has unveiled the VU Air Ionizer series, featuring 24-inch, 27-inch, and 34-inch models equipped with built-in air ionizers capable of removing up to 90% of airborne skin flakes and other dust within just 3 hours. So if you forget to go outside to breathe air and touch grass, Asus has got you covered and will bring the fresh air to you. These monitors also offer up to 100 Hz refresh rate and 1 millisecond response time, ensuring clear and smooth visuals, as well as Eye Care Plus technology to reduce eye strain during extended use. Up next, everyone has been anticipating this upcoming launch. Reports indicate that Nintendo plans to release the Switch 2 console in June, accompanied by a 3-phase rollout of games throughout the year. The initial phase will feature first-party titles, including new Mario Kart game, so if your friendships are still standing after the latest Mario Party release, you can test them again with a race. Nothing says I love you like a blue shell. The subsequent phases, slated for October and November and the holiday season, will introduce third-party titles and additional games similar to the first launch. Now on to weather. Wildfires are not only spreading across the nation, but raging all over the world. In the Carolinas and New Jersey, firefighters are battling multiple wildfires, prompting mandatory evacuations, with hundreds of homes affected. South Carolina's Pickens and Greenville counties are also experiencing significant fires, leading to a state of emergency declaration. Dry and windy conditions, along with debris from previous hurricanes, are exacerbating the situation. Meanwhile, South Korea is facing its worst wildfire disaster on record, with fires in North Gyeongsang province resulting in at least 26 fatalities and the destruction of hundreds of buildings, including the historic Gonsa Temple. Over 36,000 hectares have been consumed, displacing approximately 37,000 residents. Officials attribute the severity of the fires to the climate crisis, citing unusually dry conditions and strong winds. On behalf of everyone in the studio, we hope you all stay safe, stay smart, and persevere through these trying times. Now, as Mother Nature can be fierce, it can also be beautiful as spring comes just around the corner. The cherry blossom season has officially begun in Tokyo, with the first blossoms appearing earlier this week. The Japan Meteorological Corporation forecasts peak bloom dates across various locations, including March 30th for Tokyo. Hanami, or flower viewing, is a cherished cultural event in Japan, symbolizing the fleeting nature of life. That's it for this week's edition of Yeti's Wizard Tech and Weather. Stay informed, stay safe. Until next time, we'll catch you later. As per usual, all products in this segment are not a sponsor. And if you'd like to check out any of the sources of the articles read here today, you can do so by checking the description. Now back to the podcast.
I agree.
So,
And to transition,
Mm-hmm.
one of my other greatest mementos from, gaming is meeting you guys, and from because of streaming and stuff. Gaming with streaming.
yeah.
And that's our topic for the day. I think that's a great segue into what we're talking about.
Absolutely. So I wasn't always a VTuber. That's right. I was a flesh tuber.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why we call people that don't use a model flesh tuber.
I know, it just gives me like chills, and I'm not sure what kind of chills. Saying it flesh tuber.
Flesh tuber.
Essentially, for those of you who don't know the term flesh tuber, it's just a normal person with a cam. So what I did was so I've been doing this for a very long time, probably over 12 years, maybe 12 to 15 years. And it's rough out there in the streets, it's kind of one of those things, kind of like in show business, you got to know someone to get somewhere. It's sort of like that because, though you may be awesome and have great content, if nobody knows about it, they can't watch it. So that's a problem there. But
kind of like also like in any social media, you're at the whim of the people. And
right.
if you're there, the right person at the right time, or who do they decide to put your stream in the ones listed on the the page that people click on? You just never know, and
right.
You're at the whim of their moods and their schedules.
So I used to work really hard. I would spend 8 hours a day editing videos and stuff for my YouTube, which don't try. I made sure that every single one was privated so you can no longer see it. But
he always goes back and double checks too.
But basically, if you guys have ever seen like a, I don't know, like a Norwegian probably with like really long blonde flowing hair, and
I don't know.
Mixed with an Irishman with a red beard.
Going? Some Norse god.
But yeah, that's basically what I was. And I worked really hard on it, and it was kind of disappointing that it didn't really take off that well in the beginning. And I tried over the years, and then I started streaming because I was like, hey, streaming's awesome. It's going to be so easy. All you got to do is just do it live. You don't even have to edit anything. Boy, was I fucking wrong.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I got into streaming with a friend. And I generally thought because I mostly just did because to help them have the confidence to do streaming. And I was just like, what I just do, I just press start streaming and we're done. That's all I gotta do. I'm ready.
You just play a game live.
Nope.
Right.
That's it.
It's not that at all.
I think that's what a lot of people think, and that's why if you were to say to a regular Joe out on the street, hey, I'm a streamer, they would be like, oh, what? Oh, that's not a real job.
Yep, not a real job. I get that comment a lot.
They don't understand what it takes to pull off even a scuff stream, because every stream has scuff.
And plus, let me say this. Nobody, unless they have experienced it, understands how difficult it is to talk to yourself constantly. But I think with my YouTube background, it made it a lot easier because that's what you do in YouTube. Like when you're recording a video, you're basically talking to yourself constantly. So what I did is I kind of took that and continued with it, pretended like I was recording a video because, when no one's there, and listen up, streamers, if you're struggling too, listen to this. If no one is in your chat, you got 0 viewers. First of all, I would recommend turning off the views altogether.
Yes. Turn off the views.
Because I did that for a long time, and it really gave me anxiety.
Don't let it mess you up. Plays with your mind. Because this is a performance. Right. Like any performance, whether it's on stage or not, you've got to have your presence. You've got to have your game on. And it's like you're an athlete in a different way.
And it's so easy to just zone out and want to play the game and not really say anything. it's very easy to do that when no one's in the chat. But here's the thing. If somebody comes into the chat, first of all, there's a delay on Twitch where they are there for 30 seconds to a minute before you even see them. And that's if they even chat. So they're going to pop in and they're just going to see some dude or chick just like zoning out, drool hanging out their mouth, playing a game, not saying anything. And then they'll be like, okay, and then move on. But if you're talking constantly as if somebody's there, then somebody comes in and they're like, oh, well, okay. Okay, what we got going on here? What are we talking about? What's going on?
I've done that. I pop into chats all the time to say, oh, maybe we should raid here. And then no one's talking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, hello. I don't know if they talk. Because some people don't talk.
Right.
But I just think, do they talk? What are we doing here? And I'm just interested. So it is really off-putting if you're just not even talking. I might not even say anything for a long time. And you won't know. I'm there. People are there all the time just popping in and peeking. A lot of people, we call them lurkers. They're just lurking in the background.
And we enjoy the lurkers. The lurkers help out a lot with views.
But that's why you need to stream like there's always an audience there.
Right. Because you never know. There could be.
I have a secret power. It's called being insane. I have schizophrenia, so talking to myself, I do all the time anyways. I have an advantage.
I was going to say, you will find a lot of people with ADHD are streamers, and they are really good at just talking, you know? And that's great. That is your superpower. I think, isn't that amazing that you can have something that is actually really valuable? Like, I cannot just sit there and talk. That is not my strong point.
That's how I am after a beer or two.
See, my
schizoaffective
disorder might disable me in every day-to-day life, but for streaming, it's my superpower.
See? And for me, I'm like, isn't that it? This is your element. Let's go. Right. Celebrate it. Embrace it. It's a great thing. For other people, that might be a struggle. So this is great. It's like your outlet. I am restricted in talking at work all day, but this is the moment I can say whatever comes into my mind that's TOS friendly, and just go, just talk, whether it's to people or myself, and have conversations. Pretty awesome.
And so it's a great outlet. But another thing is like, once you get past that. Once you get past, talking, whether there's anybody there or not, then it honestly depends on whether you're, I don't know what else to call it, flesh tubing or VTubing.
Webcam.
VTubing is a lot more difficult.
And the funny thing is, some people are like, oh, you're a VTuber. Well, guess what? This takes even more. I mean, yeah, you'd have to clean your room if you were a flesh tuber. People would see your real room. You don't have a background like us right now. But like what it takes to pull off, you set your model up, you get them online, you get in a collab, you make sure everything's moving, you make sure your eye tracker is on, you make sure everything is functioning. Like all the programs we open. Okay, we should list it, guys. We're about to stream.
It's hot in here. Ooh, yeah.
Wait, time to call the police. Here we go.
I'm not a pirate.
Pop it on duty, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to put your jacket on, sir.
I don't know what you're talking about. I want that booty.
It's too much fun. As I was saying, boys. Okay.
Yep.
It's stream time. Well, let's see. It's stream time in 1 hour. How long before stream, if you were on the ball? I'm saying not on a rough night. Would you need to go sit up in front of your PC to start checking everything and get ready for a stream?
Hour ahead, no, but I try to always give myself at least 30 minutes because I have to open like 7 different programs.
Okay, let's talk about what you open. First thing you have, and do you have to do it in an order?
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Right.
Yes.
You cannot do this on a Walmart PC. Sorry,
No.
Walmart. You might have some expensive ones, but mine one was shit.
That reminds me, like today, I was working on a PC that said that it was like freezing and shutting off and stuff whenever they played games. So I reached out to them and I was like, what other things are you doing whenever this happens? Because all of our tests and stress tests came back perfectly fine. Doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with your hardware. And then they were like, yeah, it usually happens when I launch OBS and I'm trying to, do this and that. And then I was like, whoa. The homie is trying to stream on a laptop, which can be done.
I can do that.
But the thing is like,
they get hot. You have one. Yeah.
It depends on your settings. If you're streaming on a laptop, you gotta have the perfect settings, because if you try to push more than what your device or machine is capable of, it's most likely going to crash or overheat. And I believe
there's
that's what
nothing worse than being in a streaming, not in a stream, streaming, and then it crashes. Like as the it's like being on stage. You're Taylor Swift. I compared us to Taylor Swift. And
hey, I mean, she's like a billionaire. I'm okay with it.
Your lights go off, your mics go off,
right?
Everything's, and you're like, dang, all these people.
I
had a good
intro.
crowd. I was hyped up. I had everything. We were on a roll, and then it just shut down. And you're like, okay, eventually the lights come back on. You get your PC started, but then you're like, okay, I got to get the adrenaline going. I got to get them pumped up again. It's it's hard, and mentally,
I would actually rather be Taylor Swift in that situation. The problem with streaming is if your stream shuts off, half those people gone for good.
They leave. And I've
done.
watched it. You could have like a ton of people. You're like, yeah, this is going great. And they crash. And I just slowly, even if I'm in the chat and say, they're coming back, don't worry. It was just this.
Yeah.
I see them peel off one by one. Bing, bing,
really
bing, bing. And that's hard to see. It's disheartening.
So to your question earlier,
yes.
So for me, I usually like to show up an hour early. The reason why is because I have to get my webcam ready. I have to get my Tobii eye tracker ready. Sometimes when I open VTube Studio, if I don't do it the correct way, in a certain order of operations, the Tobii tracker fails only within VTube Studio, but it works everywhere else. And the only solution that I've found to fix it is to restart my computer. So first I see if that works. If it doesn't, then I have to restart my computer. And then once I have that going and flowing, I'm making sure that the webcam and the tracking's working and everything. And still, you may still have some tracking issues and talking issues and things like that. So you have to connect it to the microphone, and you have to make sure that the microphone is set to the correct one.
Right, but that's just in VTube. What do you open after VTube Studio?
Now, after VTube Studio, then I open OBS.
Right.
And I make sure that the correct game is selected. I make sure that all my scenes are reset back to where they were before.
That you have game sound coming through.
Right. And then
that you have
game
mic sound.
And that's another thing with the mixer. I have to make sure that each thing is set to the proper audio channel and that each one is coming out correctly.
And it's working.
Then, right.
And then
working. I got to open up, mix it up
today.
And I have to make sure that is communicating with OBS properly, because you have to do it through, you have to route it through the network to work correctly. So
sometimes you get into OBS and it's like, we have an update. I'm like, I don't know. Do I update right before stream?
And sometimes the updates are breaking.
Sometimes it just breaks it.
And then, in order to do something cool, if you want to do something cool, you have to basically know how to program in order to do that. Because I wanted to talk about this for a moment with mix it up. So first, whenever somebody in the Pokemon community game, they pizza.
What happened to pizza?
You said do something special. So, I was just putting my little maid outfit on, you know.
So, I don't know if anybody here or listening is familiar with the Pokemon community game, but a brief touch on that. Basically, in the Twitch chat, Pokemon will pop up in the chat, and you can catch it with your Pokeballs by doing ! Pokecatch.
It's like having an interactive audience. You can interact with little things on the screen while the streamer is gaming.
So could I have just left it like that? Yes. Did I? No. Because I wanted to make it cool and complicated. So what I did is I captured a specific browser URL and then used it so that whenever the Pokemon came in the chat, it would check to see what Pokemon it was and then pop a visual image of the Pokemon moving on the screen so that people could visually see what the Pokemon was. Could I have stopped there? Yes. Did I? No. Because then I went in to mix it up, and then I created a check username and clause to check the username to see if it is Pokemon community game. If indeed it is Pokemon community game, then I would check the message to see if it says catch it using. If that is the correct and it's true, then it would play a specific sound for the Pokemon encounter, just like you were playing Pokemon. After that, if one were to catch it, it then would check for the message that contains has been caught by. If that is correct, then you would hear the Pokemon catch sound. Then I have another clause added to that, another and it's if you did not catch it or nobody caught it, then it would have the message containing escaped, no one caught it, and it would search for that. And then if that was the case and that was true in the logic, then it would play the Pokemon escape sound. And that is just a single example of a very small event that happens in my stream that took 2 hours to set up, and it only gives
5 minutes to retell.
5 seconds of joy. And it's not just that. There's so many different things that we have to do and set up and make sure everything's communicating and working together in order to do that. And let me just say, a streamer never stops working. You're always having to network, speak with people, socialize, get on social media, talk to people, let them know where you're at. You know, always start thinking of new things.
Let's just pause and we'll talk. You know, that was just getting the stream going.
Sorry, I'm getting on a rant.
I haven't gone from my setup yet.
Like, we're just starting. Like, and you know, you have things like scene changes that you have to think of.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my opening scene. We usually play music for a bit. You have to make sure your music is not copyright or that you have some other routing system. You know, to counter that, you have your music playlists ready. You know what, you know, you got your Spotify or whatever up and running, and not other stuff that you listen. Things that are stream appropriate. And you know, that whole opening screen, and then you switch to your stream screen, and then you have another screen as well. So what do you do, Pandy?
Well, to start my stream, I need to first open up OBS. I then need to open up Mix It Up. Because if I don't open it first, sometimes my OBS just crashes. Why? I don't know.
That happens.
I don't know.
It does happen sometimes.
Aw, the Yeti's hair so soft.
Oh, sorry.
That was not me. For the record.
I wasn't prepared for that. Okay. Anyways, then I need to open up Spotify or Discord, one of the two. And then once Spotify is open, I need to open up Songify to make it so that people can request songs in the stream.
Right.
And then for like my scenes, I have to have key bindings to switch between scenes. And just, there's a lot of, so much stuff.
So many. It's like a huge pre-show checklist. It really is like having your own show. And you're the one-man band. It's like running a radio show, but with, you know, video as well.
It's like running a podcast.
The equipment. And, you know, if it's not working, you are the troubleshooter. So
Yeah, and there's so many toggles and things for you to set up for your chat, because then you got to integrate your mix it up with chat so they can give you a head pat or a bonk, or you get their daily snow cone, or what's yours, Pandy? Tokens and pop it. Yours is pedals. Yeah. And then what you heard earlier was me getting a head pat because I have it synced to a sound, or people can like do this to
redeem sounds or redeem actions or
redeem acting like
clothing
diva.
Changes.
Gancho.
So these are all like things that we do to try and entertain our audience. So they have things to do, so ways to interact and be a part of the stream versus someone that's just sitting there. So, I mean, we're not here to rant, right? I think saying these things, it's just good for everyone to know. Next time you go in a stream, if you're not a streamer, how to appreciate all those little things. I mean, that's the streamer putting it together, and
they're hard workers.
Yeah.
And money. Let's talk about the money, shall we?
See, right now we are ranting about the cons, but later on we will talk about the pros. Don't worry, there are definitely pros to this. The money, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Okay?
So, I'll talk about it.
I'll talk about it too, but
first, you've got the technics, right? You've got to have the computer that can run it. That laptop that's streaming, it's got to be nice.
Yeah,
so probably the one you looked at. If you're streaming on it, it's got to be nice.
Just my PC is like $3,000.
Right.
And then equipment, of course, like camera, microphones, if you want decent sound.
Mixer.
Sound is really important.
And let me just say, you don't need all these extra things, but it really helps.
It really makes a difference.
Yeah, it really does make a difference between professional and just fucking around.
Really, a lot. It's very helpful to have more than one monitor, too. You need your game on one, and you need your stream on another, so you can read your chat.
And I will say, I only have 2 at the moment. I definitely need more. That's another problem.
2 is minimum. Yeah.
2 minimum. And let me just ask you, listeners, and we'll give you a moment to think. So first of all, let's start low end. For models like ours, if you're watching, if you see us right now, or if you've seen us on Twitch, how much do you think just one of our models would potentially be? We'll give you a moment to think about it.
Welcome to another installment of Patch Notes with Pandy. I'm your host, Pandy, and we're talking about actually patch notes today. Shocking. We are talking about the Overwatch patch notes that came in on March 18th. The Seraphim event is going on right now. There's a new collab with Seraphim, the second one that Overwatch has had with the K-pop group. We have 5 new legendary skins. We have a Mercy skin, a Juno skin, a Alari skin, a Ashe skin, and another Diva skin. You can grab those right now. They have their own emotes, victory poses. It's a costly bundle, but if you really like the group or really like Overwatch, or both, they are very high quality. I do recommend them if you're into it. Also, Overwatch Classic is coming back, but this meta will be around GOATs. 3 tanks, 3 supports. It kind of dominated and influenced Overwatch forever. So that was pretty great. I mean, I wouldn't say great. It's pretty interesting that's coming back. But we also have a new mythic weapon. This mythic weapon is for Widowmaker. So all those Widow mains getting those sick, nasty clips, you now have a mythic weapon skin for you. It looks pretty cool from when I checked it out. We'll recommend that if you are a Widow player. Now, we just mostly got changes to the perk system that was implemented in this season of Overwatch. So some perks got some changes, got some buffs. Very few got nerfed. Very few. I think the only one that really got nerfed, actually looking through it right now, is Bastion. Bastion, they had self-repair. It had unlimited amount of use. They now have changed that. It does have a resource. So that's probably, it's a change that was needed. Otherwise, pretty much buffs all around for perks and good stuff. We'll do a couple highlights. Ones I think are really cool. Brig for supports got a good one. Brigitte, they have barrier restoration after shield bashing. Brig gains 30% movement speed for 1.5 seconds. It doesn't say you have to hit an opponent, so if you need to get out of a location, use that perk, or if you want to get in there even more, you now have that perk as well. So I think that's a pretty good perk. One for Sombra, a DPS, is the White Hat ability, which allows you to heal your allies. Hack is now uninterruptible from damage when healing allies, because her hack is normally interruptible if you damage her, but now if you're healing an ally, it is not stopped. I will also say another one for DPS that I think is pretty massive is Soldier's Stim Pack. It gives them a huge amount of attack speed and reload speed, and it gives them an anti-heal. Well, now the cast time for that went from 0.4 seconds to 1.5 seconds, so you're gonna get that out way faster, have more time to do what you want to do. And the Stim Pack anti-heal is now cleansable. It was not before. So Kiri and other perks that cleanse now can cleanse him during that. So that's kind of insane, honestly. And I want to get one for tank as well. I think the only real noticeable change would be for Reinhardt. He had two changes. His Crusader's Resolved, which is passive regeneration trigger rate increased from 50% to 75%. And this perk basically, as you had your shield up, your passive regen comes back faster. So that one would be good. And Shield Slam, the cooldown reduced from 8 to 6. They're going to do more bashing with the shield. So overall, I think they're pretty good changes. Cool events. Right now, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice to be on Overwatch. And that has been it for me on this episode of Patch Notes with Pandy. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!
And have a whole lot of jiggle. That's by choice.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I was say, are we gonna say that what our costs then, or what we've spent?
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
Models? That's great.
Do you want to go first?
I was gonna say, I think Papa should go first, and then we'll just go down. Then you, and then me.
Mine is borrowed / $25, I think.
Yeah.
It's a pre-made model that I can then customize. I change the color of my hair, length, style. I put on ears. I put on tail. I chose. It's pretty detailed customization. The only thing I don't have a whole lot to do. I only have about 4 or 5 outfits to choose from.
Well, show them your tail switch button.
Oh, is that on this one? I'm not sure.
It should be.
You know what? There's another con. Try to remember all your different keybinds.
Right.
Exactly. Well, semi-naked for a second. This is why I didn't want to do it. But there's fun things you can do. We have our little police outfit. We can get assets that we can they like putting little stickers on you that can customize things. I like to do a little chef outfit when we do cooking games. I have a weird wave. Hello. I do change outfits as well, but mine was actually probably one of the cheaper. Oh, I should say also that there are different kinds of models. You have 2D, you have 3D, you have Fugi, you have different types of models that you can use. That these guys are probably better at explaining. But yeah, you see my ears twitch a little when I talk. I blink. My mouth is pretty responsive to me talking, and you can always tell when I'm eating or sleeping, even if I mute.
And it also works a lot better if you have like an iPhone with face tracking, because I am an Android fan, but Apple really has sort of monopolized and mastered the facial tracking technology. So that's a lot better. I mean, and it shows up a lot better than like webcam.
Could I show my other model? Now this model did cost a little more. Will it ruin the setup here?
No, I can show mine too.
This is called my. She's always huge right now. This is my chibi model.
Well, actually, you're just frozen as. There it is.
Yeah, there she is. This one is actually a lot more responsive to my eyes and my mouth. I find I can do a lot more expression on this one, and I did pay. How much did we pay, Arctic, per model?
200.
Yeah, this was 200 for the chibi model.
Oh my, that's a very big Yeti.
And I can change little dolls. These were a little customizable. I have my Yeti doll in my hand right now. That's my dog. So there's fun things you can do with these. There's my chef outfit. This one cost money. The other one didn't. I was like, I'm not gonna put money into it until I actually start streaming. And it's not that I stream a lot, but I'm definitely in other people's streams a lot. So
definitely.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're never in our streams ever.
Don't be naked. Don't be naked. I'm switching. There she is, semi-naked with streaks in her hair.
Oh, we're frozen. And so
there's another thing. When switching out models or just connecting to someone, everyone freezes. So that's another thing.
Yeah. If someone's entering the room, this collab room, we're like, oh, here comes Puppet.
and here's an example of the which it still looks like it is frozen on Pandy's screen. But this is another example of the customization that we were talking about. So, I
have two tails right now. What have you done?
You gotta press the button again. But basically, this is another customization. So you can sort of. I know it's weird hearing my voice with this model, so I'm probably going to switch back. I just wanted to show you. But you can get some cheap things that are really great, because this is a great model. But the thing is the unique. You pay for unique.
You want something that no one else has, so other people can create things or buy the same model, unless you have it made just for you. And the artist knows. That's the thing. You have to commission an artist, and that the artist knows it's just for you. There's a chance you might see. Oh my goodness! Stop.
Now we're going down the rabbit hole.
There's a chance you might see yourself. I have seen a friends of ours, and their model is somewhere else with someone else's voice coming out. And that's if you have to pay quite a lot of money to get something only yours.
It's definitely not Arctic. Okay. Go back to your normal
Arctic,
model.
You're actually Pandy.
Oh
Pandy.
My God.
How much is your model?
Okay, so
tell the folks.
I will say this because I now have had 3 models throughout my streaming career because I'm insane. My first one though was free. That's how I started streaming because I didn't know if I wanted to do it. So you can find some free ones out there. That would probably be my recommendation, honestly, if you're going to start.
Yeah.
There's a free or a very cheap one.
See if it's your jam first. See if it's
maybe
your
even
jam.
Start with a PNG model.
That's what I did. PNG.
And then I got this guy, and this one was slightly over $600. So I have another one that just recently got finished, and that was almost $700. So
that one's premiering. What date, Pandy? When are we premiering that one?
March 29th. It's a Saturday. So
Saturday, March 29th on Fluffy Panda Vibes. Come see the reveal, people.
Yeah.
But let's see your feet though.
Oh yeah. You want to see my feet? I have feet.
Yeah. See those
Cute
feet?
little Converse
Right.
there. Very nice.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, look.
For the
I have
listeners,
feet.
Yeah.
Well, oh,
I
wait,
have
we're showing
knees
off feet.
and-
We're showing off our feet for free. Wow, we are
Right.
not
Nope.
very
And-
good business
and
people.
check this out, okay? For those of you who are listening, my model, I started, because like I said, I was webcamming first, and then when I went into VTubing, I went into VTubing hard, and for $50, I could have had 50 extra or 100 extra. I could have had everything, but it was already $800, and I was trying to save a buck. $800. $100. And
$800.
you can see, well, if you're listening, you can't, but you can see the detail and the uniqueness in my model.
It is unlike any I've
nobody
seen
else really
before.
looks like
It is
this.
very unique.
But you know what sucks? Where's my fucking legs?
it was a great
Steve,
invisibility potion
where's my
accident.
legs, Steve?
So that's what I tell people, that it's
And he's always so embarrassed if anyone, quick, someone hide
Yeah.
my model, my legs.
so I was so embarrassed about it that I reached out to the artist and I was like, look, please, I'm embarrassed when I do collabs with people. Like, is there any way that you could finish the model? Like, I'm willing to pay money. And I figured that it would be the 50 or 100 that they suggested beforehand. But they said it would be $200. And I was like, what? $200 for legs? I could get a
Nipples, I'd
prosthetic
understand,
cheaper
but
than that.
legs.
Especially when for a
Probably.
V2
I
model, they don't really move. So like you're still.
It's actually right. They're not moving. It's not like
First of
they're
all,
really rigged.
I just want to say I apologize to anybody that has a prosthetic. I don't actually know factually how much prosthetics are. They're probably well above $200.
Yeah.
So let me
Well,
just say
these are
that.
a drawing of legs. Okay, a drawing
my.
of legs is
The tail.
Right. So
$200.
is it worth $200? Obviously not, because I don't have it. So what I say is that I was, helping a witch in a potion factory.
We build it into
And,
lore.
I accidentally fell into a vat of invisibility potion, and there was so much concentrated invisibility potion that I was standing. It was like up to my knees, and it has to this day stayed invisible. And I've worked with the witches to try to get it back to normal, but we're still working on it.
That's something else that's crazy. I didn't even know about getting into VTubing is that like people actually care about your lore of your character.
I know.
Never
It's not
knew
till
that
you
was a
get that
thing.
one person in chat, and they say, "What's your lore?" And you're like, "Oh shit." Well,
wait, I need lore?
story time. Once upon a time, and once you've said it, you better stick to your lore. Like,
So
ooh.
let's do a fun little thing.
But that's kind of
real
fun
quick.
that you can have that lore factor.
So I have a very large lore that would probably take an entire episode, maybe two.
I
I'm
think we'll talk
gonna
about
shorten
that.
it.
And I think actually we'll save the lore. I think that'd be
Oh, yeah?
great for a
We should.
different episode.
Okay.
Lore
especially-
episode.
After my model debuts, that's what I'm saying. I think that
Hey, that's a good
That's
one.
gonna be
Yes.
good.
there you go.
Lore talk.
Yeah.
Lore
Because
talk.
that could,
It's good.
both could go on for a very long time.
Right,
Absolutely.
right. So yeah. So what you're paying for in with VTubing and models is the uniqueness of it.
One thing they should know, you don't just pay for the model art.
Oh yeah,
An
Right.
artist designs it,
And
but
then you need a
somebody
rigger.
else has to rig it and put movement. The person that rigs it is rarely the person that actually drew the picture and the art
Right.
for your model. I had no idea until I was looking into that.
Luckily for
that
me,
they were two separate. It's like having someone that specializes in desserts and someone that specializes in pasta as chefs. You know, two very different genres.
one's a baker, one's a chef. You know.
Yeah, and
Right.
guess what? That is 2 fees. Mm-hmm.
I will say
Yep.
I got lucky though that for my
Yeah, you
second
did.
model, they do the art and they rig, and I think they did a fantastic job. So
Yeah, the Sam.
yes, sandwich on Twitch. I'm just saying.
Yeah, SAMM or VVITC.
I mean, some do, but just beware. I mean, some people might think they're getting a model, and it's unless it says already rigged, fully rigged.
and then
You're just getting the art for it.
Usually it's
So be
we'll
like,
careful. Read
and-
careful.
yeah.
And then, if you're watching, we'll show some images up on the screen. But then, if you want to have, you know, pictures and stuff, you don't just like take pictures with your pals or whatever. You have to reach out to an artist to draw you and whoever you want to be
Right.
chilling with in this image, and.
Well, and
that
emotes,
costs
you got to
money.
get your emotes that match your model.
You
I mean,
gotta
that's
get
whether
your-
you're a flesh tuber or a VTuber. You've
Right.
got to pay for your emotes. You need viewers to be able to unlock your emotes on Twitch. Emotes are
this
really.
background.
You know what? We subscribe to channels based on people's emotes sometimes. You know I'm right.
I
We're like, oh, I must
Right.
subscribe because I love this emote and I use it all the time. So emotes really are important.
I will say though,
Yeah.
for webcam, they can emote naturally with their face. We have to have extra things to purchase
Yeah.
to
Right.
emote with
Yeah.
our model.
We have to purchase. Oh, you can't show us on this one, can you? On my
But-
chibi, you know, we can do sleeping or blushing or excited stars, so crying, but you have to pay per emotion.
This is me when I
You
look at
have
my
on a
wallet after
model.
spending all the money on models.
Oh, yep.
Right. And you have to learn what your things are. So I would almost say a stream deck is necessary.
Mhm.
Because there's a lot of things. There's some things that you can have triggers for, you know, but you'll need mix it up for that. So essentially, VTubing is a lot more expensive, and we're just like low to mid tier models here. The real big cheese models, those go for anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000
Mhm.
just the art. Then it's like $1,000 to $2,000, maybe more for the rigging.
For the rigging.
Mhm. So, and
If
then,
you're investing that much, you want to keep that model for a long time.
And-
But, you know, some of them go through a lot of models. They want to change
Right.
outfits. But
You
then
want
to
to change
pay for the
outfits.
rights to use that model in any merchandise
yeah,
or
so you
any
you
or
have to
even on
pay
your
that
starting
fee on top
screen
of
or
it.
your advertisements or on Discord, you have to pay to make sure you have full rights for
right
that.
for the artist
And
to
that's
give you the
extra.
rights for that.
Yeah.
And then, if you wear glasses, you have to get a Tobii eye tracker for $400 because that's the only way your eyes aren't constantly spamming and freaking out. You can probably see my eyes sometimes change a little bit, but I've got some specialized glasses and the mixed with the Tobii eye tracker to be able to do a little bit better of a job. But you maybe catch me winking at you every now and then.
I have to wear glasses when I'm driving, but I'm nearsighted, so I can't see far. So I don't wear glasses when I'm streaming, at least. So that's good for me.
Right. And you might be thinking, well, Yeti, why don't you wear contacts? Because they're too close to my eyes and I hate them.
Okay.
Well, to be
That's
fair,
why.
some people just can't do contacts. Like there's
Yeah, that's me.
Right. Well, let's talk about some of the skills that you need when you're streaming then. Whether you're a flesh tuber, VTuber, you've got all your programs running, you've got your game running. And in order to actually really engage with your audience, if you have one there, or even if not, you need to be checking constantly. You're looking at the game and you want to do well.
Charisma.
But you are glancing at your chat to the side as well. And you're seeing if you have bots in your chat, banning them if you can. So meanwhile, you're trying to defend your team from a Sombra attacking behind while you're also navigating sexy Yeti bot number 5 spamming in your chat.
So essentially what I do is
and you still need to talk to your audience. They're asking
Right.
questions constantly. That's why we have an audience. We want to feel like we're engaging with someone and that they're listening and they're engaging back.
And the problem is sometimes there's a delay.
There is a delay, which means it's even more important that you check your chat and you respond really quickly. Or you say, oh, I'll be with you in just a minute. I need to res this person. But, definitely communicating is important. And so sometimes you're not actually playing your best game because it's just multitasking. Streaming is exhausting. It's not just playing a game. You are multitasking. You're checking your CPU. You're checking all things at once to make sure things are running smoothly.
Absolutely. And with me, it depends on honestly what game I'm playing. If we're playing Overwatch or something like that, I will either read chat like when we're heading into battle after like a respawn or something, or in the midst of chat, I will like, I don't know, it's kind of like sort of a peripheral thing, like for the game, but that I only do that for the game because I don't have right peripherals. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll glance over to the chat and take a screenshot with my brain of whatever the last message was, and then I try to interpret what that is that I just saw in my brain, and then I'll glance again and read it out loud, because that's another thing you have to do. You can't just be like, yes, oh, I know what you mean. That's cool.
It's like you're reading a script. You have to read what other people write. And then reply.
Oh, you went to Taco Bell today and got some Baja Blast? That's fucking awesome, dude. I love that shit. I'd drink it. I would drink it every day if I could. You don't like Baja Blast? Ass Blaster 3000? Why not? You gotta... I'm sorry for the names.
Well, it's whatever. That's actually names to them that pops up, so you can't.
Just saying that's pretty real.
Pretty real.
And that's what you gotta keep a straight face no matter what you say, right? Some of those names.
and let me just say, this is one of the most difficult things to do if you are emotionally and physically drained to the point where you just want to go to bed and die. But you got a schedule to keep, because if you don't have a schedule and you don't keep that schedule, then people won't show up. And honestly, Twitch has been having some rough times recently for everyone. Not as people are showing up. I thought it would get better in the winter. It didn't really. For 3 years, I got a tax form, but which you have to make over $600 in a year. So for 3 years, I got a tax form, but this year, didn't even make it.
Yay!
But
at the same time,
my state's different, so I did make over 600, but I still need to do taxes. So go my state, I guess.
You didn't do your taxes, Pandy?
No, they didn't send me the form because I didn't make enough.
Oh,
for my state.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just saying that you didn't make it. Okay.
No, my state's a different number.
Let's talk how the money side of things work. With
ads.
Ads.
Companies like Twitch, first, well, not for long, apparently, but you have to reach a certain level and become affiliate, which means you have to meet certain requirements of amount of viewers, amount of times you stream per week, your average amount of viewers in those streams, and how many followers you have. And when you get that, you get affiliate. And that's when you're able to run ads and make money. What percentage would you do you roughly? Well, there are subscriptions when people subscribe. Do we get the full amount?
No.
I
think it's 50% of
it's
it.
about 50%.
I think it's only 45. I think you only get 50 if you're partner.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Just really
and same thing with
hard.
ads, bits, anything, any kind of money. We only get a percentage of it.
Right. And so, yeah, it sucks watching ads. If you don't like watching ads, subscribe. But yeah, it's rough.
Get Turbo. It still gives us the money, and you don't have to see the ads. But we get the money for you being there, and whenever the ad would have played, and you would have seen it if you didn't have Turbo, we get paid for that. Not sure how they calculate that, but it still works the same.
Well, and that's money, that's effort, that's time, that's equipment. But at the end of the day, there is just streaming for fun too, which I wouldn't have met either of you guys if I hadn't popped in your streams, if I hadn't chatted with you, if we hadn't started playing together. And there is that community, no matter how big your audience is, whether you've got 100, whether you've got thousands or 20, either one is great, right? But it's really something when you see the same familiar faces come in to your chat and you feel like you know them, you know, oh, Sig, you know, hey, how's it going?
And not only that, but like
or cinnamon.
Cinnamonian rainforest.
Yeah, we have this relationship with people we've never seen before. Kind of like what I was saying with MMOs earlier. And, you know, that's something special too.
You network with other streamers as well. And you like, it's amazing because I remember International Friendship Day. We had, and I'll show this on the screen now if you're watching. If you're listening, just imagine a bunch of fucking people in a picture. But essentially, we got Puppet worked her little ass off.
Sure did.
To get everybody, all of our friends that we have networked together and stuff,
as many as we could,
to get in for a big, huge collage photo together. And it was amazing to really see how many people we had connected with. And how many, you know, people we had touched and who had touched us. Get your mind out of the gut, Pandy.
How you do immediately? I was like, that sounds so wrong out of context. I'm just saying.
Or that we all knew each other, you know. It's pretty cool.
Right. But I digress because I feel like I have really been ranting this whole time. And I think that we have said a lot of negative things. So I'd like to finish this podcast on a positive note. So let me just say this, and then I'll throw it to you guys. Streaming is very hard. It's hard work, and especially when you're working. You come home, you're tired. But seeing those friendly names in your chat, you know, egging you on, you know, like, come on, bro, you got this. You know, you can win this one or whatever. That really warms your heart, you know? The people that keep coming back, the people that, you know, it's not all about the money throwing bits and shit like that. It's about the people being there and just showing the love and spreading the love. And that's the reason I wanted to do this to begin with, is to just get a bunch of cool people together and spread the love around, because there's too much negativity in the world. And I felt like if I could create a place where people could be happy and safe and care for each other and be kind to one another, that maybe my piece of the world could bring them a little happiness in whatever they're going through. And that's, honestly, I want to get back to doing it. Work has been kicking my ass, and I have had to take off for a little bit, but I definitely plan on coming back. And I did do a stream not too long ago, and everybody came back, and I was very surprised, and it almost made me want to cry. Because
it was a really fun night. That was a great stream.
It was a really fun night.
We saw people we hadn't seen in a really long time.
And yeah. I was like, no, I don't know if I should do this. You know, it's been gone so long. I don't think anybody's going to show up. Like a lot of people showed up to show that support. So we love you guys. You make this worth it. And then I'm going to toss it to you guys because I've been a chatterbox tonight.
All right, Pop it. You're next. I'll finish this off because I got a lot to say about positive stuff.
Well, I think I kind of started the whole conversation too. Like the fact, I mean, really, I don't stream a lot by myself because, and I kind of get teased for it. But the honest truth is, I'm always in someone's stream. My model is used for a long time every night for like nearly a year. I'm just in other people's stream. And, you know, there are so many people I've met all around the world. Stop puking, Yeti.
You just really like that one.
And I wouldn't be here in this podcast, you know,
It's
because
getting hot in here.
we just have fun together. And this is, you know, and sometimes it was late at night and we would just say, you need to go to bed for work tomorrow. I'm like, you know what? It's been really hard at work. And this is my one time to just have a bit of stress release, hang out with my friends, and have a good time, and the people in chat, and you know, have a good time. So thank you everyone that comes in. Every time someone says hi or does a little wave or an emote, it just makes me happy, whether it's in your guys' chat or my chat. You know, it's fun to see everyone. It's special.
As a viewer, you don't have to spend money to make someone smile.
Facts, but money is nice. I'm not gonna lie, but
It
It is nice. If you do that, it's very appreciated.
It
as well,
helps.
for sure.
Let me say this. It helps us continue to
Do the
bring
fun
high
stuff.
performance. Or
Like your
high,
love huts right now,
professionalism.
someone's subscription could pay for those. So it's kind of like it just really goes back in and invests back into the stream.
pretty much,
Right.
Your
And-
model.
yeah, that's pretty much what it is. We get money and we take all that money. We're like, I could use this to buy myself something. Scratch that. I'm buying something for stream to give back to you guys for all the support you give us. But for me, positives is just community, building community, friendships. You know, they come and go, but sometimes in the streamer community, they last forever. Right here, this podcast started because of streaming and stuff. So, it's actually great. It's great also, again, seeing the regulars, but also new people, because you might make a new friend that day. So I started this whole streaming thing just for fun, and I continue to do it just for fun. And look at these two lovebirds over here.
He's dribbling my ear.
This is a little nibble.
We
But
have
no,
too much
it's
fun together.
it's honestly
Or nibbles make a
great.
bite, by the way, or a bit.
It's
Sorry.
also it's great, just like entertain as well, just like getting that like creative juice out, you know, being like entertaining and just talking with you guys is fun. It's a great time. And you know, when you play Overwatch and you want to like punch your monitor because Wrecking Ball destroyed your backline for the 15th fucking time.
Bloody wrecking
Right.
ball. You know who you are
chat's
out there.
Chat's there to make you smile and
Doomfist.
laugh, or
Yeah.
just those little interactions
cry.
are just great.
There's
So,
always someone that tries to make you cry.
Or my moments where I freak out when there's a tracer or sombra or something, which I'll try to put a clip here.
but yeah, no, it's honestly just great times all around, good vibes, and how I always have my stream. I've been the Fluffy Panda, and I try to bring you the vibes. That's what we do. Spreading
On that
smiles everywhere we go.
Yes. Thanks for listening. Let us know any of your questions that you have that maybe we didn't answer. If you're a streamer, feel free to leave a comment, leave your own rant, leave your own vibe.
Let us know how it is for you.
Yeah.
If you
How do you
feel some of the
feel?
same things.
Honestly, with how great streaming is, there is a lot of cons, I'll admit, but the pros still outweigh them. Just how
Cons and
amazing it's
pros.
fun.
Yeah.
So.
Tell us whatever. We'd love to hear back from you. And thank you to those who have been commenting on the previous podcast. It's actually been really fun to read back and see what you have said. So
And we
keep
will
it
get
coming.
back to replying to you.
Yes. We just know we've talked a lot this stream so far.
We are
and also-
some talkative peoples, you know.
We really are. And we were talking about that the other day where literally when we try to have our meetings to figure out what we're going to talk about for the next episode, we're like, well, that could probably be an entire episode because we just I don't know. We just vibe together and we just talk and we don't stop.
Or our meeting, always during the meeting, we're like, someone should be recording right now.
Right.
We
It's
do
like a
our
little
best
mini
things
podcast.
in the meetings.
That's true. But to be fair, as with a stream and why we got the name for this podcast, we have the same mentality. Fluff it. We go live. We
Right?
go live.
Just fluff it.
Fluff it.
We going in.
We're going in. Booty.
And sometimes in life, you just gotta say "fluff it" and do
go for
what,
it.
just go for it. Do what feels right,
Heck yeah.
unless you're hurting yourself or someone else. And on that, I will say, if you guys do have a question, give us a call at 701-205-1501. Again, that's 701-205-1501. And your voicemail may be heard on the podcast, and we'll give our 2 cents on it.
Heck
So,
yeah.
with that being said, our socials should be popping up here soon. Pandy, tell us where you can be found.
At the moment in time, pretty much only on Twitch at Fluffy Panda Vibes.
Which, on what date?
My debut for the new model
Yes.
is on March
Yeah.
29th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
March 29th, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're Eastern Time, that is what, 9?
That's 9. Yep.
9. And if you're Mountain Time, that is
7.
7.
And then if you're Pacific, that's 6.
Yeah. But to not confuse anybody, we'll just say 8 p.m. Central Time, because that's what they do. What did you say, 9?
Well, he'll be there sometime, even if it's later. It doesn't have to be right at that time. But come in, say hi. Don't say hi. You can be a lurker. But
We do love
see
the
the
lurkers.
model. And you can appreciate everything it takes to get that baby up and moving on that screen. Yeah. It's going to be a great night.
Yeah.
All right, Papa, where can they find you? Because I did mine.
Me? Little Poppet 6. I'm on Twitch, usually in these hooligan streams. Or I occasionally do my own stream.
And I am Arctic Shadow. You can find me at ARCTIC_shadow because some dude stole my name and then proceeded not to stream for 3 years.
Arc
But we're not going to talk about
_shadow.
that. Arctic_shadow.
That's another stream
So
entirely.
we'll throw the socials up. We also got some Fluffit socials as well, which will be at the top. And our social media manager will be posting some things on that. And we potentially may be making a Discord. So as always, we definitely appreciate everything and everyone that listens and comments and, really just spreads the love. So
Heck yeah, bring those good vibes.
We love you guys. Thanks for
Hope
tuning
you all
in,
have a
and we'll
beautiful
see
and
you
fantastic
next
night.
week. Yeah.
until next time, we'll catch you later.
Peace
Bye.
out.
Bye.